Hey guys, sorry about that. I had a little technical difficulties here. Thanks for sticking with us. This is the Ringside Seat Podcast, Episode 2, Part 2. I had a little internet disconnection here. Things should be good. We're going to try and do these in one part from now on, but for those of you out there that are jumping over to Part 2, we appreciate it. So where are we at, fellas? The ambulance match, right?
Yeah, we just finished the Bellas. We're moving to the ambulance match.
Great.
Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose wrapping up their feud, I would assume so, and Bray Wyatt picking up the win.
How do you...
Ambrose,
I kind of assumed going into this match that Bray was going to win this. I'm not downing on Dean Ambrose at all. I like Dean Ambrose a lot, but I think they're giving like the mega push to Bray. So I think to make him stronger, to make him look stronger, Dean had to lose this match.
They've been doing with Bray of all people, they've been wrapping up his feuds on Raw a lot, which I don't know what that says about him, but like the Jericho feud, they ended on Raw, which I thought, ended pretty good, I thought.
The steel cage match.
Yeah, but I missed the very end of this, but I don't know, Billy, how do you feel? Because I think we had high expectations for this feud. I don't know that it quite met that. What do you think?
I had highest expectations talking about the Jericho feud, and I got to see them fight at Battleground.
Yeah, that's right. You were there.
Yeah, it fell short for me too. Like I don't know. I don't want to say it's Wyatt. I just feel like. I feel like Ambrose topped the Jericho feud. Like that in my eyes, it was better than that. Like had a little more story. It's just hard for the story to connect, like, because it's hard to follow what Wyatt is saying. It's just his.
Yeah, he constantly is like talking in riddles, and it like leads you on like a Grimm's fairy tale or something like that.
And if you can understand him, it's definitely interesting stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, there's plenty of times where, like, the stuff he's saying is interesting enough that you want to keep listening, but sometimes he, even for me, goes a little bit, like, off the rocker to the point where you're like, wait, what?
Pun intended?
Yes.
But let me just, like, interject something that's completely against Bray's character. You were talking about the Jericho and Wyatt steel cage match. I think it's completely against Wyatt's character to have him escape the cage.
That's fair.
Like, escape the cage over the top and have his feet touch the floor. Especially when he was facing, John Cena in the cage.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of against, like, Wyatt's character of this, like, the Eater of Worlds, the creepy guy, who, like, wants to, like, have, like, Jericho and Cena and all these guys to have him, like, take over the universe or whatever his wicked evil plans are, and in order to do that, he has to beat him inside the steel cage, and for that to happen, you have to hit him with the Sister Abigail, or just do something like that, not like escape the cage over the top. That's just wrong.
Yeah, take him out brutally.
Yeah, I remember, like, when he hit the Cena cage match, that's, like, the worst.
Yeah,
he won the match, but it didn't even, like, all the help that he needed, like, that feud set his career back a good year. And he's just now starting to get back from that, because I just feel the way that it ended, like, it didn't help anything at all.
Especially the payback match, the last man standing.
Yeah, like, I understand Cena won that, but, like, at least it went out well, Like, that's the way I feel about it. So, what do we have after that? Because I think...
Then we get the Naomi Usos versus Alicia Fox, Damian Sandow, and The Miz.
Are you guys still into Mizdow or no?
Oh, yeah, I think he's great. His character is hilarious. And it sucks, like, former Money in the Bank, and now he's just
hanging.
It's better than what he was doing, impersonating,
like all these guys
heroes and stuff.
Just got squashed by everybody.
Yeah.
So
He's still a comedy act, but it's still funny.
At least he's doing like something steady.
yes,
Consistent,
exactly.
yeah,
That's what it comes
exactly.
down to. But yeah, I have a real beef with like the 6-man match. The way they set it up, there was like a terrible continuity issue set up with that. Like they had Naomi or whatever get beat up backstage, and I don't know if you guys even caught this, but like they came back to live, and they had Michael Cole, and he said, "Well, that happened earlier tonight." Like, okay, if that happened earlier tonight, why did we not get like the Usos retaliating or her jumping back on her? Like, that all she did was throw her into a table, so it's not like she's gonna miss the match because of it.
And dump a whole bunch of powder on her. It's not a fight. It's not a backstage brawl between two girls without the baby powder.
Right. I mean, it's not like back in the day when Orton, punted CM Punk's head and he didn't get to defend his world title. Like, it was nothing like that. It's like okay, this happened. We're totally ignoring that this happened because now we have a match. Like, they could have not used that backstage thing and it would have been totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of helps set up the match, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning part, like, it would have been fine if, like, she just kind of, like, was kind of bitchy towards her and was like, oh, you're not on Total Divas and da-da-da, and then just kind of walked off. Like, I think it would have made more sense to do it that way instead of having her.
I mean, it just gets into the Alicia Fox character. That's how she is. She's really sporadic and crazy, and dump soda on people and popcorn and on the fans and stuff. And
especially the build-up leading up to Payback. Yeah, it was Payback.
Yeah, yes, that's kind of just continuing her character.
So what did
Then, Ms. Sandow and Alicia Fox picked up the win when. Yeah, I guess Jimmy was distracted by Naomi on the apron because it was a quick finish. It was kind of it felt weird. Like I guess what happened was like the Miz Irish whipped Jimmy into the ropes, and like he saw Naomi and just stared at her for a second, and then got rolled up. It was weird. The commentators trying to explain it like, oh. Jimmy must have thought that was Alicia or Mizdow.
It was Mizdow.
Yeah, and so he just stood there and stared at him and got rolled up. It felt rushed. It was weird.
Yeah, I don't think the ending went as good as it could have. I mean, the Miz and Mizdow, they're kind of like, they're half of the biggest heel team, and then you got the comedy thing. Like they lost the belts. And, like getting a win, I guess it keeps them a little relevant. I mean, again, it was rushed and it wasn't done the right way, but, like, they have a win. And for this team to, like, do something, they have to win every couple weeks at least to make people care at least.
Yeah. They were fighting the champs, too.
Yeah, exactly. They got a pinfall, victory over the champs. And then, it's obvious that eventually the Ascension are going to, not only are they going to get their shot, but they're probably going to win. And, just to jump back to that real quick, these guys are supposed to be the future of your tag team division, and they've been on Raw this week, and they didn't even fight, like, contracted wrestlers. Like, can't you give them, like, Los Matadors or something? Like, can't you give them, like...
Or get, like, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd? Is that too hard to ask?
I would go on a rampage if they jobbed Cesaro and Tyson Kidd to them, because that's the team that they need to be pushing, but I don't think that's going to happen.
We'll get into them in a little bit.
It's going the Rosebuds.
Yeah.
Next match we got Ryback versus Kane and Rollins.
Yeah, impromptu 2-on-1 handicap match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was another one of those. Kane comes out and is like, oh, by the way, this is how this is going down. So, again, Authority just sticking it to everybody.
Yeah.
Because they were in Team Cena. They're just trying to...
Yeah, pretty much everybody in Team Cena got the shaft this episode. That's kind of the theme they were doing.
And I was sitting there watching, Kane make all these impromptu matches, and I'm sitting there like, is there some sort of manual to this machine? Because to me, Kane is kind of like a Civil War chess set you get through the mail. You get one piece every 6 weeks. You don't know what condition it's in. You don't know what shape it's going to be in. But you still have to pay the handling charges.
what they're doing with Kane, like I never really liked the
And
corporate Kane
and
thing.
that was a quote.
Right. Like one of my best friends, like Kane has always been one of his favorite wrestlers, and he is in the service, and he had to go to another country, and he didn't get to keep up with wrestling very much. And he came back, and he saw the way Kane was, and like he couldn't believe it. Like I understand it's a different uh, dimension to his character, but at times he just looks like, I don't know. It's not Kane anymore. He's like a drunk stepdad. Is kind of the way he looks some of the time.
Yeah, it's really. I mean,
It's an acquired taste, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's
Also,
run his course.
Yeah.
Also from what I've seen on a couple of YouTube videos, other people have called him like a pimp.
Yeah, I mean, he looks. I don't know.
He's ripped. He's got the shorts. He's got the elbow pads.
Mhm.
No shirt.
Right. What did we?
Match, it was pretty good. Ryback, put up a good fight, but 2-against-1 it'll get you, and he lost after two curb stomps by Rollins.
Right.
But, it still made Ryback look pretty good. He it went on for 2 segments. So.
Right, and I mean, you got to keep in mind, this whole night, leading up, which of course the main event segment at least was
appreciation.
Yeah, Cena appreciation. So it's like, oh, we're gonna appreciate Cena as we destroy everybody that had your back last month.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was the Rollins, and Kane picked up the win, and then we go to commercial, and we could get back to Adam Rose and Big E, which I guess they had a segment early on. What was it, Big E preaching to the Rosebuds?
Oh, really? I must have missed that.
I didn't see. I heard him talking about it. Like, he was preaching to the Rosebuds, saying you don't have to listen to Adam Rose. He's not
okay. And then you like you said, you had Cesaro, and the match was it is what it was, but then you had Tyson and Cesaro, where they dressed as Rosebuds. Is that how that went?
They're in the morph suits, and then Tyson Kidd. And then they come out and attack Big E, and they do this awesome double team move.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it was like a top rope doomsday rolling cutter. I can't even figure out a name for it.
Well, the part that Tyson does is called the blockbuster, because he's even done that in NXT. So it's like a blockbuster with a power bomb.
Chair or power bomb. I wasn't sure which way it was.
Right. But no, as I was saying, you want to put all the stock in the Ascension when Cesaro and Tyson Kidd can be heel, can be face. You can have Natty involved. You can you could do Tyson doesn't treat Natty right, and Cesaro stands up for him, and they could do a million different things with those characters, because they're so they're so raw. Their talent, they're going to be good in the ring no matter what you give them outside of it, and that's kind of what they've always done. But, they need a better name. None of this, Masters of the WWE Universe crap. We don't need that at all. But I don't know, maybe it's too late to change the name. Although it's not been the name that they, put on the template, I don't think, yet. So maybe it's not in stone.
Yeah, I don't know if that's official either.
Right.
But, hopefully they will get, a better push in the tag division.
Right, that would be good. So are we coming up to the main event, or we have something in between?
Well, I guess technically that was the main event, because then, after that is the Authority.
Mm-hmm.
Cena appreciation.
Which they essentially fired everyone in Team Cena, except, of course, obviously Big Show, because heel turned for the 100th time.
Yeah. I was on Twitter a couple weeks ago, and I saw this this tweet that listed every single face and heel turn that Big Show has had in his career.
How many?
In WWE.
Did it say how many?
It was pretty extensive. I'd go through all of them, but it'd probably be 2016 by the time I get done.
Right.